Imagine the kind of crime so brutal, so chilling, that it haunts even the toughest cops for the rest of their lives. 3 cases, 3 killers, and 3 detectives who still wake up in cold sweats haunted by what they saw. These aren't just unsolved mysteries. These are the cases that broke the people whose job it was to stop the monsters. And what if I told you, it was DNA microscopic evidence left behind decades ago that finally revealed the unimaginable truth? This is Cold Cases Cracked. How DNA solved the unsolvable. Case 1, the Whisper Killer, started with a single whisper in the dark. "You shouldn't be here." Detective James Harper was called to a suburban home in Seattle, 1987. Inside, a young woman, 26-year-old Melissa Rowan, was found strangled, but there were no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no DNA. Just one strange detail: the phone receiver was off the hook, and the last number dialed was her own home number. Cops called him the Whisper Killer, a ghost who taunted his victims over the phone before killing them. Harper spent 30 years chasing shadows, until 2018, when a drop of saliva from a cigarette butt cracked the case wide open. DNA matched a man who lived 2 blocks away the entire time. A janitor, someone Harper had interviewed 3 times and let walk. I can still hear her voice on the tape. That whisper, "I'll never forget it." You think you're ready for monsters until you realize one shook your hand. Case 2. The Icebox Child, Chicago. Winter of 1994. A blizzard shuts down half the city. In an abandoned building, police discover a small refrigerator chained shut. Inside, the body of a boy, 8 years old, perfectly preserved in ice. No ID, no missing child report, no fingerprints. Just a locket with the engraving "To My Little Sunshine." Detective Carla Diaz, a veteran with 22 years on the force, took one look and knew this case would ruin her sleep forever. For decades, the case went cold. But then, in 2022, DNA testing on the boy's sweater found something shocking: his father's DNA and his mother's in the same bloodstain. Turns out, both parents were buried 2 towns away, murdered weeks before their son vanished. A distant uncle had taken him, and after years of abuse, froze him alive to keep him from leaving. I've seen bodies before, but when you unzip a bag and see a child frozen in the same position he died in, you don't sleep right again. Ever? Case 3. The DNA from the dark. The final case began as a legend: the Backroad Butcher. In rural Kentucky, locals whispered about someone who hunted travelers at night. For decades, there was no proof. Just stories of missing hitchhikers and abandoned cars. In 2005, Detective Ron Keller got a call: a skull found in a drainage tunnel. But it wasn't human. At least, not completely. It had human teeth embedded into something else, something that didn't match any known species in the database. DNA analysis revealed something almost impossible. The genetic code matched 3 different people. Keller later discovered the killer had been harvesting tissue from his victims, sewing pieces together, and using their remains to create his own family. When they finally raided his farmhouse, they found 7 jars of preserved human skin labeled with first names. The man confessed to nothing, but one jar had the detective's daughter's name on it. You can close a case, you can bury the files, but you can't bury what you saw.